Hello, hello, hello. This is a really cool racing game. Some might even say the best racing game, especially on the N64, and this is a really special category we got here. So there are these little played categories in DKR called the vehicle percents, where you play all tracks with a certain vehicle. Normally we feature either like 100%, any percent, or all trophy races. But this category is really special because it puts all of the vehicle percents back to back, so we're playing every possible track and vehicle combination. And it's also special because this category doesn't have a leaderboard yet, so I'm hoping that by doing this I can make my case for a leaderboard for this category, because I think it's really cool and more people need to run it. So we're going to be going through every track with car, and then we're going to be going through every track with hover, and then finally with plane. So that gives us plenty of time to explain all of the intricacies of each vehicle.
And there are a lot.
There are a lot. And with that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and get this thing started in 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. I'm Brandino. I'm here to help Leah on this amazing journey that is Diddy Kong Racing, all races, all vehicles. I run Diddy Kong Racing for the Nintendo DS, where is actually where I met Leah initially. So I want to shout this out while we're at the beginning of the run. You are watching the current best time trialer in both the DS version and the N64 version combined right now. There is no better Diddy Kong Racing racer than Leah. So you guys need to know that before we go into this run. You're about to see some crazy gameplay. And it starts off pretty simple here in Ancient Lake. A big thing about car is that Leah is tapping the A button. Actually, do you want to explain the A taps? Because you and Pony have this down to a science.
Yeah, sure. So in car, pressing the A button will give you a burst of acceleration, but it will also give you traction onto the ground. And that traction actually kind of drags our hot speed down a little bit. So what tapping the A button does is it allows us to get the benefit of the acceleration while minimizing the downside of traction. Got a little strap right here.
Oh, I love Canyonless. So that's a little trick right there that saves maybe about a second in movement, but it's called Canyonless as a shout out to another game you may have heard of called Super Mario 64. But in this game, what happens is Leah is grabbing this blue balloon, hitting the zipper at such an angle, and then hitting the blue balloon at like just when she's starting to lose speed from the zipper so that it launches her through the canyon here. The aforementioned Fossil Canyon even though, by the way, there's no fossils in this level. I just want to point that out. It's called Fossil Canyon. There are fossils in Jungle Falls, but not in Fossil Canyon. There is a canyon, though. This game is bouncy.
This is like the hardest second track ever in a racing game. Like, Fossil Canyon even is really hard for like the second track in the game as far as speedrunning goes. Jungle Falls is a really fun track though, everyone loves this track.
Especially Mr. Ponytail, who is another one of the best players of this game. Mr. Ponytail has brought this level to incredible lows and continues to improve. It's unbelievable, really. Yeah, like this level is non-stop boost chaining. So boosts are really important. We're letting go of the accelerator every time we hit a boost or activating a blue balloon. So Leah has to strategically let go of the A button constantly during this run in order to gain tons of speed and then get back to A tapping in very specific ways. That was ripping.
33 is a really good Jungle Falls time.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to point out, this game is so fast. If you're expecting a game like Mario Kart, where it's like we have a lot of RNG and items to contend with, you're wrong, I'm sorry. This is a completely different game, and it is much faster. Something about Treasure Caves is that this level, when time trialed, so normally when time trialing this game, what runners want to do is turn off this game's incredible soundtrack, which I know is very sad, and I'm sorry. But the fact of the matter is that the N64 runs faster when not playing music because the music is all processed via instructions through the same CPU as everything else. So the music adds complexity to time in this game. And so when we turn it off, the game actually runs faster and lags less. But Treasure Caves is one of the only levels where while time trialing, you want more lag to extend your boosts. And that's all a segue into the fact that lag is maybe the most complex speed mechanic to understand in this game. Lag is everywhere, and manipulating lag is extremely important for our speed. But to be honest with you, like, lag also has an element of randomness to it. So runners have to be very good at kind of dealing with the blows that the game gives them, and for getting just the right amount of lag that they want in order to extend or shorten a boost.
And on that note, Crescent Island here is also a music track in time trials, and a very fun one at that. In that section just then, when I'm jumping down to the ship, I'm actually pulling back on the joystick because we can also control the car to some extent in the air by pitching up or down to give us more or less air. And in that case, you want more air because it lets us jump a bit further with that boost we get from the zipper. I'm going to do it again here. Well, maybe not.
The car soars through the air in this game. Absolutely soars. People like to joke that some tracks are plane and car as well. Everfrost Peak is one that people joke like all 3 vehicles are plane because of how fast they go.
Did someone say Everfrost Peak?
Yeah, I did. So, hey, fun fact, Everfrost Peak car is exclusive to N64. In DS, they melted the ice that the car drives on, and now it's only hover and plane. So this is N64 content. And yeah, we're driving on the ice, baby.
This is a really big jump, and it's really difficult to do.
Oh my lord.
If we have time, I actually have a lot of exciting updates for chat.
Yeah, definitely.
First off, we are over halfway to that order a pizza incentive, which also means that we have already raised over $1,000 for Lambda Legal. I am so excited to see how quickly we're getting there. Incredible work, everyone. We also have our Yeti shirts for GD Queer available to order right now, so please go take a look. They are incredible. Absolutely wonderful work by the Yeti, as usual.
Do love me some Yeti t-shirts. I have far too many now, ever since I started going to GDQ events. On to Walrus Cove, which I don't, not a huge fan of this track and car, and that's because of this game's incredibly bouncy ice mechanics that are present in this level.
Yeah, Walrus Cove is, I'd say it's definitely a casual's favourite track, and a lot of speedrunners really like this track too. It's really got a unique feel to it. Particularly this ending section. I didn't get the balloon. If you get that balloon, there are 2 strats you can do at the ending. You could either use the balloon early to kind of hop over the hills, which I don't do, I find it quite difficult, or you can chain it into that last zipper for a really big boost across the finish line, which is what I prefer to do, and it's not that much slower. So hopefully we get it here.
Okay, come on. Woo! That turn around that corner there, going really fast, it can be really difficult. Also, the candy canes that make up the finish line are solid, and you can slam into them. This is not always the case, but it sure is the case in Walrus Cove.
Unfortunately, Diddy stole my balloon. If I'd been a bit faster, I would have been able to beat him to it. We do still get the last balloon, though.
Okay, so I want to talk real quick about AI in this game, like how the computer characters interact. But basically, the computer characters, you're always... Like, this isn't Mario Kart, like I said earlier, so they're not constantly peppering you with items or there's no rubber banding to keep them with you at all times. So you can and will pass them up and even lap them. But once you start lapping them, they can eat balloons that you meant to use. So they can still, there's an element of randomness to it, but I would say that they have very similar behaviors and tend to do the same things a lot. Like certain tracks, they love to litter the track with mines and oil, like other tracks, they like to steal balloons.
On that note, with CPUs using items, they actually will use items quite often when you use them. So you have to be careful. Like, if you get a red or green balloon, which honestly aren't too useful as far as races go, because the CPUs kind of cheat, you have to be careful if you get one of those balloons, because if you just fire one off just for fun, that might mean the CPU puts a track down or shoots you with a missile. So it's best to just wait until you get a blue one that you can use.
Getting shot by a CPU is such a weird experience. It doesn't always happen, but it's like they have to be quite good to aim to hit you.
Yeah, it happens maybe like once in a full game run on average. It's quite rare.
And now, okay, are you gonna? I was gonna say you're gonna go for Salt Cure.
I could try.
I mean, if there was ever a time to do it.
I'll try on lap 3.
What we're talking about is called Salt Cure Jump by a runner. I believe the runner's name was Salt Cure, right?
Yeah, let's do it right now.
And ooh,
kind of. A bit of a slow one, but it still works. Oh, whoa, Tonka really knocked me out the way there.
I want to point out something too about this game. You know, lots of games have named strats and stuff. This game really doesn't have a ton of named strats. So if a strat is named, it's particularly notable for being difficult. I just want to point that out. We don't have a ton of named strats. If they're named for a reason.
I say that there is a strat literally called Leah strat, which we're going to see when we get to the hover portion of this run. Sometimes we aren't that good with names.
So, onwards to one of the best tracks in the game. And speaking of named strats, this track has a named strat. Haunted Woods, just in time for Halloween.
Oh.
This is a very short track, but like a blisteringly fast one.
If you hit the zippers.
Sometimes they like to be rude.
This turn is quite hard. It's kind of like almost a blind B turn. And the ending as well. There we go. That's pretty much what you want.
And then that's a strat by the current world record holder of almost every RTA category, Mr. Ponytail. Also, like one of the best time trialers of all time in this game. One of the best players. He comes up with all kinds of crazy strats, fountain jump being one of them. Such a mind-boggling strat, kind of like to start using tiny little jumps in car to your advantage. And now welcome to Windmill Plains. This is a really cool car track and not one that you get to see very often.
Yeah, as far as like non-default tracks go, there are 16 tracks you can play with the car in this game, but only 12 of them use the car by default, so those are the ones you see in most categories. Which means that there are 4 tracks that we don't play in car typically, and this is one of them. And the thing about these tracks is that they're all plain defaults, so they usually have like really weird geometry that lets a car get crazy jumps. As we saw in Frost Peak as well.
Absolutely. This track does not feel built for car in like the best possible way, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
They just kind of forgot that car could soar through some of this stuff. Also, worth noting, floating circular zippers can only be hit by hover and plane. Car cannot actually activate those.
Yeah, the interesting thing though is that even if they could, they wouldn't actually do anything, because the way car builds speed from zippers and other boosts is by having grip on the ground. And if you don't have any grip on the ground, you actually will lose speed if you're in a boost, oddly enough. So yeah, air zippers wouldn't do anything even if you could hit them in car. Okay, going this way.
Oh my god, Diddy sometimes has a magnet on the back of his car that just draws TT forward, and I'm not talking about the item. I swear.
I was quite nervous there because he just picked up a green balloon. He was trying to use it.
Yeah, that was really, really fast, by the way. Okay, another really cool car track, and this one is interesting. There's only one blue balloon in this entire track, so most of this track is very similar to what you'd see in a time trial.
Yeah, and that blue balloon I'm only going to pick up on lap 2 and 3. I actually prefer to skip it on lap 1 for 2 reasons. One, I find that movement a little easier, especially with regards to getting bananas, and 2, if you use it, sometimes the CPUs will be more likely to drop a mine in a really bad place on lap 2. So, best to save it.
Oh, this is a track, we were talking earlier, at some tracks, like you can kind of predict CPU behavior. This is a track where CPUs leave mines and oil everywhere for you to hit. Absolutely everywhere. By lap 3, you are ducking, and there's one right there. Yeah, it's not fun. Also, for experienced players might know that there is a quote-unquote shortcut that goes down by falling in a well that we just ran over, but in fact it is not a shortcut. It is slower than just zooming with TT.
Yes, it is slower with an asterisk, I might add, because in the DS version of this game, which you should absolutely play, by the way, it is faster in one very specific instance, which is when you're playing the track with hovercraft, and specifically using a high acceleration character, which is actually the optimal setup for time trial. So if you go and watch the Diddy Kong Racing DS Remote Village Hover time trial record, you will actually see the well being used on all 3 laps, but that's the only time it's ever useful.
The magnet eating, the blue, I can't say blue balloon. It's such a tongue twister. So if you guys hear me stammering over blue balloon, no you didn't. Anyway, here we are in Space Dust Alley. This is another track that does not feel in any way designed for the car, but in a much more annoying fashion because that tunnel is so rough, to say the least.
This is often considered to be like the hardest track vehicle combination in the game, Space Dust Alley with a car.
It just does not feel like the car was built for this track, and you bounce around a lot as a result.
Would now be a good time to talk about some donations?
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
All right, well, we have $13 from Non-Binary Code, who says, Game go fast? Pizza? Trans rights? Yes, please. Thank you so much, Non-Binary Code. With donations like that, we have hit 60% on that incentive for pizza at the start of Transistor. Amazing work so far. Also supporting that incentive was this $100 donation from Duffles, who says, Pizza! P.S. Trans rights less than 3.
TT kind of looks like a pizza if you squint.
Yeah, I'll integrate that into my belief system.
I mean, some say he looks more like
that's certainly a way to go.
Some say he looks more like a Swiss cheese wheel, which is actually pretty fitting because he is canonically Swiss, according to this one obscure Nintendo comic.
I mean, whether it's pizza or Swiss cheese, it's making me hungry, so that's fine.
Same. All right. Speaking of pizza, this has nothing to do with pizza. Anyway, Dark Moon Caverns.
I'm gonna try something really cool here. I'm probably not gonna hit it.
All right, hold.
I didn't get it.
Okay, we have 2 more chances. Don't worry. We're gonna make sure we point it out every time. Actually, more than 2 more chances, I guess, if you want to go for...
We have 4 more chapters.
Okay, so Dark Moon Caverns, this is a very difficult car track. Just, again, this is a track designed for car, but it's so bouncy and wonky, and the car is constantly being lifted up into these weird turns. You have to be quite a good runner to be able to deal with some of what's going on here. And, okay, hold.
Didn't get it.
Okay. We'll explain what's happening. We're going to let it happen before we explain it, I think, because I want it to be a fun surprise if it happens.
For the record, getting the thing I'm trying to do on that first loop is like a 1% chance or something. It's stupid rare, but it's a lot easier on the second one. So I have a decent chance of hitting it there. Only 1 more chance, though.
This is a newer trick, too. I think this was found sometime around 2021 or 2022, if I'm right. All right, wait a minute. All right, one more. I hit my own mic. 1 more shot. We got this.
Hold on. Let's try our best here.
We are so far ahead that we can do this. Okay. So what have happened? Okay, go ahead. You want to explain?
That is not quite our final chance because we will also be playing this track in the hovercraft where we can do the same thing. Trust me, there is a reason why I was ramming into like walls repeatedly there. I really hope I get to show it off. But until then, Star City, happy Pride, by the way.
Yeah, TT just went through the Pride Tunnel.
Yeah.
Straight into the Epcot golf ball, which is here. So this track, Star City, again, difficult track. You see these 90-degree turns in City account for some crazy drifts, and it looks like you just got a double boost instead of a single. So another thing I want to talk about, something that you might have noticed, but item balloons stack. So 1 blue balloon gives you a single boost, and then there's a double boost for 2 and a triple boost for 3, right? However, it is faster in a lot of scenarios in almost every scenario, mind you, you're going to see Leah do it here. She has a blue balloon, and she's going to head towards another one. And before she touches the other one, she's going to activate her previous blue balloon and then activate the one that she runs into immediately, giving her an extremely long boost chain. The chain lasts much longer for 2 chained single balloons than it does for a double balloon. So every scenario that we can possibly do, we're going to be chaining single balloons together. And then you can see this again one more time here. Yeah, it looks so clean too.
And speaking of balloon chains, we got another one in this track, which is also the last car track. After this, we're going to change to hovercraft.
Yeah, so real quick, so this game has, let's just want to say, like, we talked about it, the game has 3 vehicles, car, hover, and plane, and in the community, we have several different runs. So we have car percent, hover percent, and plane percent, and now Leah is pushing to make all races, all vehicles, which is the combo of all 3 together. I just want to give a shout out. Back in 2020, 2021, we ran a tournament in the Diddy Kong racing community that we called Team Triathlon Relay. So people got into teams of 3, and everybody was assigned car percent, hover percent, plane percent, and then you and your team had to race other teams with the same vehicles and like build points and stuff. And that was one of the first big things I did in the community, and I just want to shout that out because we have a very interactive community. All the runners, such kind people. We have a website for time trials, dkr64.com, where you can submit time trials. And every Sunday, Andy Panther or another DKR runner will write a little blurb about this week in time trials and give people their flowers for the things that they've done. If this sounds cool to you, it's extremely cool because I don't know any other speedrun community that does something like this. So if you want to join Diddy Kong Racing and get your flowers in a weekly update post, I think that would be cool.
Sometimes even I write it.
And I'm so sorry that I talked over you doing that triple balloon boost in the what's it called? In the ending there.
Yeah. Right, so that would be time for car percent, but we've got like a lot more to go still. So that was like a 21:03 car percent, which is a good time. Generally, like I want to aim for 20, but I mean I messed around so much in Dark Moon, I wasted like 10 seconds just goofing off. So that's fine. And we're immediately gonna do something quite weird. We have traditional out of bounds.
RTA.
Yeah. we have out of bounds shortcuts in this game. We also have some checkpoint manipulation shortcuts, and they are shockingly easy to do. This game does not have a very robust checkpoint system, unlike some other games. So this counts as a lap.
That was a whole lap. I don't know what you're talking about. That looked exactly like a lap should look to me.
So we grab the checkpoint here, we stick on this blue portion because if we were to go a bit further to the right there, that would undo our checkpoint. Then we can drive back through the track and keep going until we catch the other key checkpoint, which is around about this white line here.
There is such a unique challenge to these shortcuts because you have to avoid smacking into other racers going the other way.
Yeah. And just one more round of that. And we can also talk about the normal hover movement now, because this track has no zippers or no boosts when you do it like this. So you'll notice I'm snaking. I am holding the R button, I'm moving the joystick from up left to up right. That kind of makes me go faster than I should be going because there's an inbuilt speed mechanic in the hovercraft where you will gain speed while turning. They kind of did that to make turns feel smoother. So as a result, you can abuse it by turning constantly on straightaways and just going faster. And then if you combine that with A-tapping, which is done differently to in car, it's more like A-releasing is a better way to describe it. Like we're kind of...
It's much slower. It's much slower than you're going to tap in car, and it's more rhythmic and purposeful. That's how I would describe A-tapping in hover versus A-tapping in car. Would you agree?
Yeah, it's like the release of the A button is what matters more in hover. Whereas in car, we're trying to tap the A button for 1 frame at a time if we can. And yeah, the same will also apply to plane when we get there. And then this track, There is a rather cool boost chain at the very beginning, which is also quite difficult to do, and I'm not expected to hit it. But you'll notice I kind of bonked against the left wall intentionally in the pride tunnel. And that's because bonking is actually good in hover sometimes. Specifically, if you bonk the side of your hovercraft against something, the hovercraft's kind of like a giant rubber band ball, basically. So kind of like here.
Yeah, you can like ride the wall and not lose speed.
Yeah, and each bonk actually adds a bit of speed as well, which is really cool.
What if we bonk in the Bride Tunnel?
Is now a good time for donations?
Absolutely.
All right, we have a $200 donation from Grubane with no comment. It's an absolutely incredible donation, and with that donation, Grubane is entered to win not just all of our day prizes, but also our grand prize. So those are all wonderful at gdq.gg/prizes. If you are interested in those for the time being, make sure you're donating through the website, as well as if you're interested in supporting our incentive, which we still are at 60% of the way through. We have some time, but it does end 5 minutes into the next run, so not that much time.
All right, we have a second chance to hit the really cool thing. Not quite. It is easier in hovercraft, so we're more likely to see it here. And do my best. Trust me, it's going to be worth it. Until then, though, this is surprisingly... A lot of these, like, hover non-defaults are more fun than you'd expect. Like, the hovercraft is considered, like, a lot of casual players' least favorite vehicle, but like, once you learn how to control it, which is not really intuitive, to be fair, it becomes way more fun.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. Most casual players can't stand... Oh, wait, hang on, hold. That looked like it was about to work.
That was
most casual players,
yeah.
Most casual players can't stand... Oh, wait, sorry.
I got a camera tilt.
Oh my god. Yeah, most casual players hate hover, but most speedrunners understand that hover is one of the best vehicles in the game. And it works differently in DS, but hover is still very technical in DS, probably the most technical vehicle of the three. Which is I think one of the crazy things about this game is that there are completely different and valid reasons that you could call something the most technical vehicle.
One last chance.
All right, praise.
Gotta get this. I think this will keep you in the way. No.
All right, so
much lag there from the CPUs.
What we've been trying to do there is that by hitting the wall in like almost a perfect 90-degree angle, TT at some point will get lifted off of his, I guess they're not feet. His vehicle will be lifted off the ground, rather, and TT will be thrown forward through the loops, out of bounds, to the point where he actually ends up passing the goal line and completing the lap out of bounds. It's a really, really cool trick. It's also very difficult. So, yeah, it's not something you should expect to get.
Yeah, it's technically the only out-of-bounds shortcut that's not in plane, and we'll get to those, but you can do it in both car and hover. It does save time. From the red loop, the second one, it saves only about a second each time, but if you do it from the first one, it saves like 5 seconds. And in hover, it's actually a lot easier to do than in car, even though we still didn't get any of them. So we've actually done a bunch of 3 out of 3 double loop skip runs have happened in hover time trials. So as a result, the hover shortcut time trial is about 13 seconds faster than the non-shortcut, which is really cool.
Absolutely. I guess I was thinking, besides, I guess the only other out of bounds is Bluey out of bounds. That's non-plane.
Yeah, and it's also not in this run, unfortunately.
And it saves a total of 1 second.
Yeah, but it does look cool. And anything that looks cool saves at least 5 seconds, right?
Absolutely. I think that's the way it goes. Here we are. So one thing, I don't know if we mentioned this, but so car is only a selection of tracks. Plane is only a selection of tracks. Hover incorporates every track in the game. Every single track has a hover component, including some hover-only tracks that we're going to do as well.
Like this one.
Yeah, Boulder Canyon. Now, this is one of the most goated levels in the game. This is one of my favorite levels when I used to run on N64. In general, I just think the movement here is just absolutely amazing. When we get to the castle section, I love it. But just, I don't know, there's so many cool boosts. And were you going for a log thing there?
I was trying to get the balloon, but I missed it, but then I kind of got a log thing. Kind of worked. This track is this track might be like the most affected by having music on. It is extremely laggy with music on. Like,
yeah, that's because of that.
That's not on the stream's end. That's not on the stream's end. That's the console lagging.
That's just because of, I mentioned this earlier, but I'll say it again. So the N64 does not have a dedicated audio processing unit. It processes all audio as instructions through the CPU. And that means that the same CPU that's processing the graphics and the other racers and everything else is also processing your music. And because of that, the N64, and this is not only for this game, but for any game on the N64, music lags the N64. Sound effects lag the N64. One of the only other games I can think of that turns off music on N64, because it's even an option, is Gex Enter the Gecko. That game also has an option to turn down music, and they do that as well, I've seen from the N64 version of the speedrun. So yeah, it's not inclusive to this game, but you can really see the effects sometimes.
Even on the results screen here, it's like 15 FPS.
For a quick update, we are 65% of the way to that order a pizza incentive, and we are also less than $50 away from $1,500 raised for Lambda Legal so far. Absolutely great work. Let's keep it up.
This track here is another one that seems like a really obscure combination, but it's actually one of my favorites to run. Like, especially in franchise, this track is super fun, and it has no right to be, in all honesty.
This, I think what helps, hover helps this track a lot because it's very easy to hit walls in this track, so when the threat of smacking in the walls is less pronounced, it becomes a lot more fun. That's my take, at least.
Yeah.
This track is much harder on DS, in my opinion. I find it like the turns are sharper and the car controls just like less fluidly, at least to be able to do it. But there are some really cool drifts here in DS.
Yeah, I'd say this track is definitely harder in DS and 64 in both vehicles.
And I'll once again shout out DS. Me and Leah are both the most active DS runners and have been for some time. Leah way before me. Leah's been the most active DS runner for years and years and years and years. At one point was probably the sole active runner for several years in a row. But we love the DS version and we will accept no DS slander. So I'm just letting that be known. All right, this track is awesome. That was so crazy, like right on top of the zipper too.
You see what I mean about using items and CPUs will use them at the same time? I used my blue balloon and the CPU used a missile at the exact same time because that's what they do. Whatever they're holding, they will throw it out. I should not have a double balloon here, but I guess I do now. That's off script, but I can work with it.
Wee.
Also, if you want to see something funny, you should look at, go to dkr64.com, find this track, and look at the Hover 3-lap leaderboard. Trust me, it's pretty funny.
Something I want to call out about this track, and something about all tracks, really. So we haven't really mentioned it yet, but bananas in this game essentially work like coins in Mario Kart, where bananas will bananas will increase your top speed to the point where it caps out at 10 bananas. So a lot of the time, a track is structured in such a way where usually on lap 1 you might take a slightly different route to grab more bananas, so that on laps 2 and 3 you go faster. And this has the effect that in time trials, usually your first lap was always your slowest while you can grab bananas, and then your next 2 laps are the ones that really bring the speed in when it's capped. And in order to do fastest lap speed runs, you need to have 10 bananas, just without a doubt. And another really cool track is Haunted Woods Hover. That fountain is less of an issue here.
There's a rather difficult boost chain I'm going to try to go for on all 3 laps right here. Yeah. So
Did you
see I
jump over it?
So the thing with that zipper is that there's like a very tiny slope like right before it, which you can't even see. But that does mean you like basically can't drive onto it in hover, which is really odd. You kind of have to jump onto it, which is difficult to time. Like that. And then further to that, you can chain it with that zipper over there, which I'm gonna hope I get on lap 3. It makes this track quite a pain in time trials, because like you're kind of just praying for the moment you actually finally finish a run. Oh, CP's in the way. Yeah. Zipper hitboxes are unfortunately not a strong point of this game. They are very, very tiny. Especially ground zippers. You have to get right down into them to actually connect.
You will see this. We'll talk about this when we come back to plane, because plane essentially sometimes has to go 90 degrees into the ground to hit a ground zipper. It's disgusting. All right.
We saw this in Boulder Canyon and Space Force, I'm going to show it right here. This is the Leah strap.
Whee!
So I pulled the nose kind of back there. That is the Leah strap. For some reason in hovercraft, doing that in the air will ground you more quickly, and you'll also build speed while you're doing it. And I'm the one who it's named after me because I was the one who started widely applying that. Also, we've got another checkpoint manipulation shortcut here. We go over there, we grab the last checkpoint of the track, and we can go back here, and as soon as we get to the tunnel, next lap starts. So you can imagine, it's way faster to do this than going around the whole track 3 times.
The checkpoints in this game really do their best, but unfortunately we do better.
Yeah.
There's in the regular any percent and 100%, there's a boss named Tricky that we beat entirely through checkpoint manipulation. We don't even bother to really race him. Oh, also, what Leah was just doing is something that only the hovercraft can do because it can off-road and the car can't, which is like being able to take multiple zippers through the snow right there. You can on DS, which is cool.
Looks like we have hit $1,500 raised for Lambda Legal. Incredible work, everyone. We got there thanks to donations like this $10 donation from Steffi Stardust, who says, all caps, Diddy Kong Racing. We also had a $25 donation from Elite Spud, who says, Nyum.
Yo, let's go, Spud. Shout out to Elite Spud. Now, Snowball Valley is just as fast in hover, and what's nice about it is those little snowballs that are running around, they can't squish you in hover, they just give you a little bit of a speed boost for some reason. We call it the love tap.
Yeah. It's more of a thing in the Bluey, which again is an adventure mode race and not one we're going to see here. Whoa, get the chain here. Yep.
I love...
We do have the...
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
We do have another chance to go for the loop skips we were talking about in Dark Moon Caverns, but I'm not going to go for them here because they're a lot harder in this track. But loop skips do exist on this big loopy loop here. They do save that much, though. We only recently implemented that into time trials in 2023. Before that, it wasn't really a thing.
Yeah, I had only known it about it as just like a funny mistake that could happen more than something that runners had figured out.
Yes, the loop skip was entirely found by accident in like 2016 by Mrs. Gudama Loop.
Shout out to Giz, one of the oldest runners of this game, and just a legend.
Yes, he hit an oil slick, at the end of Dark Moon Caverns and kind of went careening into the loop in such a way that he got a loop skip, and he did not process what happened until he finished the race.
So locked in, he didn't even realize he glitched. Also, this track is much better in hover because you don't bounce on the ice. You get to actually just like casually go over it, which makes it a lot better.
Yeah.
Something that's interesting about this game is the way that they've designed a lot of these tracks that have certain elements that are only meant to be hit by another vehicle or something. I think that's really cool. My guess is that there's a key that you need to collect in Present Island in regular mode and story mode that is hidden in a place where the car is supposed to drive on water, and I think they wanted you to use the hovercraft to get it. but I can't confirm it.
Shout out to Penny Racers 64. I'm seeing it in chat.
I would love to remind chat about that order a pizza incentive. We are 68% of the way through. As a reminder, it was going to be a pretty cute scene between the main character Red and her partner if met. And there are 4 different options for the pizza order that we will actually have chat decide on through a poll if the incentive is met. And they each have unique dialogue. The options for that pizza are Supremo Deluxe, Harvest Garden, Sea Monster, and Mystery. So if any of those are calling out to you, make sure you donate to that incentive and vote in that chat poll so that we can see the characters in Transistor react to that pizza.
Also, Leah is absolutely shredding it through this level right now.
Yeah, I almost got the full booth chain there. Like we said with this tracking car, this track is kind of like a plane in every vehicle because of how much air you can get. And it is very, very fun in hover.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love the way this game looks at a high level. It really does not feel real sometimes how fast you're going.
We've not mentioned how boosts really work in hover yet. So when you use a boost in hover, you have to, or rather after you use a boost in hover, you have to get back up to your, you're gonna have to build up this mystery stat called throttle before you can start A-tapping again. And it's really important because it basically means each boost you take in hover is more of a commitment. I don't think we actually mentioned that we have to let off the A button for zippers and boosts. That's the thing that the game tells you. But when you do it in hover, like you kind of want to chain boosts as much as you can, so you can go as long as possible without having to hold A again and build up your speed again, like that. Like chain boosts like that is better than using them all individually. Okay.
Oh my god, the whale! Where was he?
I forgot, you can't do that unless you're in the trophy race mode. In the trophy race mode, the computer characters are stronger, and they'll do the track in such a way that they activate the whale for you. I kind of forgot that's not a thing when you play the track normally. Because we never usually play that track just like from the track menu like this. Speaking of boost chains, this track has a load of them.
This track is one of the best hover tracks in my opinion. It is really fast and really fun. It has some of the coolest boosts that you can perform. It is a very difficult track too, for that matter. There's some this turn around the corner right here is brutal. And then there's some pretty wonky moving in this part as well. Oh my lord, I love that though when it goes right.
That's a full chain.
This is truly the track that convinced me that like hover really had some sauce.
Yeah, I'm hoping this whole hover percent portion, sub 50 by the way, is convincing people that hover is better than you think. Just because it kind of sucks casually doesn't mean it sucks in speedrunning.
Would now be a good time for some donations?
Yeah, sure.
All right, we have $25 from Mr. Ponytail, who says, so there's car percent, hover percent, and plane percent, but where's John percent? Best of luck, Leah and Brandino. We also had a $7 donation from Non-Binary Code, who says, pizza is so cool, I wish it was real. P.S. Trans rights. Thank you so much, Non-Binary Code. We can make pizza real. If we meet this incentive, we just have $640 remaining on it. Make sure you are donating through the website and applying them to that incentive before you send them over.
You can go around the ship in this track and hover. Fun fact. We didn't do it lap 1 because we wanted the bananas inside the ship, but laps 2 and 3, it's fair game.
This is a great example of them designing a track for 2 different vehicles and making it work really well. Because yeah, the car has no choice but to go inside the ship and come out the other end, whereas the hover just whoop. And we're done.
Yeah.
All right. I'm ready for some boost chains.
Oh yeah, we've got some boost chains in this track. I'm actually going to avoid the first zipper there because almost always in Hopper, you'll just get kind of bashed out of the way if you try and get it, so it's not really worth it. We're going to hold on to this blue balloon for a little bit and only use it in the lap transition. Right about here. That is very difficult to hit. I'm not surprised I missed it. We have another chance. Although when we come round here on... Ooh, Magless, nice. When we come round here now, we got all these CPUs here, so I'm probably going to get hit a little bit. Yeah, that's quite difficult to hit. On lap 3 though, because we're finishing sooner, we can use the balloon a little sooner. So we're going to try and use it right here, see if this works. Oh, okay.
I legitimately thought you almost clipped out of bounds.
I'll take that as a no. I don't think that worked.
I want to point out, you mentioned we did get a lagless zipper at one point in that level. So at high levels, again, lag is such an important factor to your speed in this game that time trialers literally grind out like lagless zippers and then like, because they feel random. It's really, really difficult. I wish I could like describe it better, but yeah, like time trialers, some time trialers like grind out like getting a lagless zipper, which feels like essentially random when you hit the zipper or hitting it in such a specific way that creates the lag. But it's tough. At a high level, these time trials are all about working with the amount of lag that the game gives you and trying to optimize it, which is very, very hard. That's another reason. Oh, go ahead.
It can feel random, but there is almost always some kind of way to greatly increase your chances of getting it.
It's usually about like approaching it in such a way. And then, something that I want to talk about, this is like a newer thing that started, Mr. Ponytail really developed this, is that sometimes players will toggle the game's HUD. So you can swap between the map and the speedometer. And by doing that quickly, you create just enough lag sometimes to extend your boosts forward. And that's a strat that's recently come into play through players like Mr. Ponytail who've like developed that. So I just want to shout that out. At a high level, this game is absurd. Just absolutely absurd. It's amazing that people can play it as fast as they can and think about all the things they're thinking about.
Yeah, and we're going to see that thing with toggling the speedometer when we get to Fossil Canyon in about a minute from now. My neighbor's dogs are going crazy. I don't know if you can hear them, but...
No, but I'm sure they're just really excited about how good this hover run has been.
Yeah.
They might also be excited about that pizza incentive for the next run because it is happening soon if we can meet the incentive in time. Still $640 away, so make sure you are getting your donations in.
Absolutely, yeah. Make the dogs bark louder for more donations. We'll figure out a way to do it. Oh my gosh! Oh look, it's okay though. It's okay. We're in hover.
That was really smooth. I'm not gonna lie. If you get hit there in car, that is a really bad thing because you will go right into the water and drinking. Well, car doesn't really know how to drink water, unfortunately. Oh no! I accidentally restarted the track.
Oh my god, wait, did you pause reset?
No, I just accidentally clicked retry instead of menuing it. It's fine, we don't have to redo anything. On that note of pause exiting, in the full game runs in adventure mode, we will try and do cutscene skips. So basically pausing on the last frame of the race to kind of exit out and save a couple seconds each time. And sometimes when you're doing these track mode categories, sometimes you forget and try and cutscene skip, which you should not do, because it does not save time, and if you accidentally exit out of a race at the end, you'll have to redo it. So don't do that.
Oh my god, so much airtime we bonked them to the top of the tunnel.
C-press. That's a speedometer thing. We call it C-pressing for short. Because it is controlled by the C right button. And it is incredibly versatile, actually. It's kind of just the speed button. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, actually, that was...
I was about to say, that worked out in your favor.
Yeah, I just took some bananas from him. That was really tactical.
She's too good. She's sniping other players in her speedrun. It's so funny when you it's like a machine gun at the end with firing them off. All right, last hover track. I know you guys have been enjoying the hover so much, but it's about to get even crazier after this, if you can imagine.
Yes. We've got the plane coming up after this.
I would say Ancient Lake's a pretty simple track overall. You kind of get the gist of it. But Hover does get one cool variation after the first lap here, which we'll get to when we get there. There is also a lap manipulation strat you can do in this level, but I don't think it's faster RTA.
There is, but it very barely even past time trials. It's just under a second faster in time trials, but in RTA you get the balloon, so it's not actually faster at all. See if we can get a big chain hit to close this out. Can't quite make it to the end.
Almost. And that's hover percent. We got one more vehicle left, and we're about to speed it up even faster. Welcome to the plane, gamers.
Yes, and this is going to be a really short final section because the plane. We just played 20 tracks in Hovercraft, but we've only got 11 to play in the plane. It's a very underrepresented vehicle. It is kind of interesting because the hover is very underrepresented in most RTA categories because there are only 3 tracks where you play it by default, whereas the plane has 5. But in this category, it's the complete opposite because hover has 20 tracks and plane only has 11. This has been a very rough start to Ancient Lake, but I've just come from playing hover, which does kind of a number on your thumb, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, one of the runners of this game once injured his thumb after a long session of hover. It's no joke. Okay, let's talk about plane a little bit. Plane, we were talking earlier about letting go of the accelerator in order to gain a lot of speed from boosts, and plane exemplifies this. Because in an ideal world, there are several plane tracks where if you're doing it right, you will never retouch the accelerator after initially pressing it. And what I'm saying is, you will literally not press A after you start the race. That's what can happen at high level plane. It's very, very difficult though, but it's chaining these barrel rolls, boosts, and zippers all together in one to avoid having to slow down. See this, unfortunately now we have to grab the accelerator because we lost too much speed. But yes, Leah has no accelerator going for as long as possible here. And yeah, these barrel rolls are extraordinarily hard to guide. Sorry, I just talked about
whoa.
Is there time for donations while we speed through these races with the plane?
Definitely, yeah.
All right, well, we have excuse me, I misspoke. We are 71% of the way through that incentive for ordering a pizza, which is great work so far, but we need to pick up the pace if we're going to meet that by 5 minutes into the transistor run, because as you can see by this incredible plane tech going on, this run is ending soon, and we will be ready for the transistor run, I imagine not much after, so get your donations in. We also had a few donations come in, like this $50 donation from Marissa with no comment, and a $50 donation from Tess and Sparrow with no comment. They are entered to win all of our day prizes with those donations. Check them out at gdq.gg/prizes. You can actually get a bit of a 2-for-1 by entering to win our prizes and giving us more progress on that order a pizza incentive at the same time. So please go to our website, take a look at those, get your donations in, make sure you apply them to the incentive before you send them over.
Talking about plane just makes me think, what if TT was delivering a pizza in this plane? It would probably get ruined with the barrel rolls, though. Imagine the pizza just flying around inside the box while you're barrel rolling.
Honestly, I've had worse delivery, I think.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, given the way that I've had delivery, sometimes it feels like they basically were doing barrel rolls on their way over.
The plane's been pretty orderly so far, staying in bounds and stuff. We're going to change that.
All right. Yeah, so plane is capable of doing out of bounds because it doesn't fall, out of bounds once it gets out of bounds. So plane is uniquely suited to go out of bounds. And this is the most famous out of bounds in the game. It has way more utility than you realize, but also we just get to go out of bounds.
Yeah, so the reason why that works is that while the plane is in its barrel roll state, it can ignore liquids, so that includes water and, of course, this molten cheese in its track as well. And there's a little gap underneath the wall, so we can climb a barrel roll right before we hit the molten cheese, and yeah, by the time our barrel roll is finished, we are underneath the wall and the lava pops us back up outside the bounds of the track. And then we can just go between the 2 key checkpoints and finish the track in like 45 seconds.
Yep, and
we're not done.
Oh, good.
Because we got this track as well with an out of bounds.
This is a really cool one. This has one of the shortest laps in the game.
Yes. So in time trials, we have fast lap categories for all these shortcuts as well. And this is already an extremely short track, even when we're doing it, in a normal 3-lap setting. But you can set up the fast lap here to be done in 2 seconds if you do it right. And this is actually quite a special time trial category because it used to be a 7-way tie at 2.23 seconds. And then a certain someone called LeahKazuno decided to beat it by 0.03, and now it's at 220 at the 2-way tie currently.
LeahKazuno? Who's that?
No time to rest though, because this is quite a hard one, I might miss it.
This one doesn't even look real when it works.
Oh, yeah. We'll go around and then try that one again on lap 2. I'll probably hit it at least once.
We are now 77% of the way to that incentive. This is a great pace, chat. Keep it coming, and we can meet that incentive, but you have to keep up that pace.
All right, here we go. So we're going for Frosty Village out of bounds here. This is one of the newest playing out of bounds. This one was discovered in 2022?
21, early 2021. It's going to be celebrating its 5th birthday next year.
Anything discovered after I started playing DS, the waters get very muddy.
Yes. So that checkpoint there is really close to the inbounds. It's very easy to accidentally click back inbounds. You got the other checkpoint here, and
this one is really cool.
There's also the fog trigger, which we tend to hit accidentally, and I might have missed a checkpoint. Oh no, I got it. Cool. So I still saved time over an inbounds one there, even though I missed it at lap 1. And we're still not done with the bounce tracks because
this is if we weren't doing Star City, I would say this is the hardest out of bounds in the run. But we are doing Star City, so this isn't. This is the second hardest out of bounds in the run. The line that Leah wants to take out of bounds here is incredibly tight. The clip out is very difficult. Second, the navigation is very difficult. And third, the level constantly wants to load on you. So like what's going to happen here is that Leah's literally on a line that loads different halves of the stage, which makes it harder to see where you're going. And she needs to go up at some point to avoid hitting the void trigger. Because every stage, if you go too low, has a void trigger that voids you back in bounds.
Yeah, so it'll put you back at the finish line with no lap progression, so you'll always lose time if that happens.
This is a very difficult out of bounds. Probably the hardest one. It's the hardest one in a normal RTA setting.
Yes, definitely.
Because you don't do stars. Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I have a very important update I need to make sure is said. We're having some issues with the Twitch extension, so please get your donations in at gdq.gg/donate specifically. Sorry, you can continue.
No, you're good. All right, so we don't have an out of bounds here in Everfrost Peak, but we don't need one. This is one of the fastest plane tracks in the game, and if Leah plays her cards right, she will never have to touch the A button again.
Ever. I'm going to remove it from my controller.
Yeah, she's playing without an A button right now. We've taken it out surgically. Whew.
Oh, nearly perfect.
Nearly perfect, and yet better than anything I've ever been able to do. Yeah, I just marvel at this track. This is what being good at playing does for you is being able to do this track like an absolute maniac. It's amazing.
We now only have $450 left on that donation incentive, so we are getting there, but keep up the pace, chat. We do not have much time left.
That's something you can do. Like, a good use of the A button is to make emergency adjustments during the barrel roll, slow yourself down if you need to. If you know you're going to go too far and hit something, you shouldn't. And that's a really important part of being a good plane player. And we also have another really difficult inbounds plane track here. This is often considered to be the hardest default track in the game. So when you're doing like all trophy races, which just play through all tracks in the default vehicle, this is usually the hardest one and the one people start with.
This track is absurd. It is so much fun. It is so difficult. Everything that's hard about playing is here. Sharp turns, lots of intricate boosts, and this tunnel section that is just very claustrophobic. This is a difficult track. I really can't say that enough. Oh my god!
Little panic that I had to use the A button again, but came out of it quite fine actually. That'd be much better than bonking, because if you bonk, stole my balloon. If you bonk in plane, it loses like 5 seconds or so on average. The reason why it loses so much if you bonk in plane is because that throttle stat that I mentioned earlier in hover percent, so the amount of time you need to hold down the A button before you can go into like A tapping or barrel rolling, that increments very slowly in plane. That is to say, in car, it increments 0.1 per frame. In hover, it takes 2 frames to increment by 0.1, and in plane, it takes 3 frames to increment. So you basically need to hold the A button for like more than a second, usually. That is the wrong track.
I was about to say, is this new? So, okay, never mind. I thought I got the order confused. All right. We have got the hardest out of bounds that we are going to attempt here. Star City out of bounds is the unequivocally most difficult plane out of bounds. Getting out of bounds is very hard, and then the navigation is extremely goofy.
Yeah,
also,
I'm going to play it safe here and get a triple balloon. You can do it with a double, and I'm still probably not going to hit it. I'm going to be honest, but I'll try. It'd be really cool if I did.
I think if you guys fund the pizza incentive, we'll hit it. So just do that immediately. We got it.
You heard them, chat. Fund that pizza incentive. We are almost 80% of the way there. We are so close to the home stretch. They got it. You have to meet the incentive. A deal's a deal. Get your donations in, chat. GDQ.GG/donate.
Look at this. This is such a cool out of bounds. Nobody ever gets to see this, by the way. This is such a rare one for a lot of people to see. So enjoy.
Yes, a lot of people don't even know this exists because you just never usually play this track in the plane, and especially not in the balloon race mode. Like, if anyone's playing this track in plane, it's usually because they need to play it for their time trial average finish, but very exclusive book right here, Star City Out of Bounds. And with that, we're going straight into our final track of the run.
Also, this is the reason that we're playing on Japanese, is because of one little polygon that has been added into this level in the English version that makes an out of bounds impossible. We'll show you what we mean when we get there, but this is the very last track of the run. I keep forgetting there's no DK Isles tracks because this isn't Nintendo DS. But real quick, in the Nintendo DS version, they added 4 more tracks. Just more reason you guys should play it. Anyway, out of bounds time.
So right here, they just forgot to put a polygon in the Japanese version, which is the first release of the game. They fix this in every other version, but yeah, this is the only reason why Japanese is the fastest version for most things. For this category in particular, the American version would be just as fast if it weren't for that. But we've not got much time left here. I'm coming up on my final lap here, and time will end as soon as I cross the finish line on this last lap. So
chat, the run is almost over. Get those donations in for that incentive if we're going to meet it by 5 minutes into the transistor run. We are almost out of time.
And time. GG. That is the first. I want to be clear here. If we didn't say it, that is the first marathon run of car percent, hover percent, plane percent, and all tracks, all vehicles. What a special day, guys.
Yes, and that was a really good run, honestly. I'm very happy with how I did that. I usually struggle a little bit with marathon runs, but I did very cleanly there. I kind of wish I'd gotten the Dark Moon Caverns loop skip, but I got Star City out of bounds, so that makes up for it. Really glad I got to show that one off, and I'm glad I'm underestimate too. I want a real quick shout out the entire DKR community. I think we've already done it a few times, but we'll do it again.
We can't do it enough. We love those people.
Yes, also shout out to dkr64.com, our time trial website, where we have weekly news updates, sometimes written by me. You can find me on twitch.tv/LeahKazuno, and I will also be reappearing in this very marathon later tonight. I'll be commentating for a Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze Run, which you should definitely watch. That's all from me. Brandino, you got anything?
Hi, yes. I'll also shout out the DKR community, wonderful bunch of people who I've got to meet, so many of them in person because of GDQ. We've all met at these events. We don't even get runs in, and we'll have 8 people there just to come say hi to each other. And I think that's really special. Great community, friendly people. They'll literally do whatever you need to do to help you get better at the game. And you can find me at twitch.tv/Brandino59. I run Diddy Kong Racing DS amongst 57 other games that you'll probably get to see at some point in time. And I just want to shout out Leah for having me. Leah is a very good friend, and one of my favorite people in the community. She's really good at the game. She's very forthcoming with all of her knowledge, and is just so intent on getting better all the time. She's very inspiring to watch. So yeah, go check out Leah. She's doing amazing things.